When we think of independence, we imagine flags waving, parades, and people celebrating their freedom. But did you know? There are countries in the world that never celebrate independence at all. Why? Because they never gained it? And they still remain under the rule or influence of other powers. Take Scotland, for example. It has its own proud culture, language, and traditions. Yet it is still part of the United Kingdom. The same goes for Greenland, which enjoys some autonomy, but officially remains under Denmark's control. These places have no official Independence Day. Can you imagine living for hundreds of years without ever experiencing what it means to be free as a nation? It makes us realize how valuable independence is, like 31st August in Malaysia or 17th August in Indonesia, when people proudly celebrate their hard-won freedom. Another striking example is Hong Kong. For more than 150 years, it was under British rule. In 1997, it was handed back to China, but not as an independent nation. Instead, as a special administrative region. That means Hong Kong never had, and still doesn't have, its own Independence Day. Then there's Puerto Rico, a beautiful island in the Caribbean. It has its own culture, its own flag, even its own Olympic team. But politically, it is still a territory of the United States. People there are American citizens, but they don't have the same voting rights as mainland Americans. Independence? It never happened. These places remind us that not every land has a story of breaking free. Some remain in the shadow of larger powers. They're people living between identity and dependency. Let's move to Wales and Northern Ireland. Both have their own flags, languages, and proud traditions. Yet, just like Scotland, they remain part of the United Kingdom. They celebrate their culture and history, but there is no day where they mark independence because it never came. Another unique case is Saudi Arabia. Unlike many nations, it was never colonized by Western powers. Instead, it was formed through the unification of tribes under King Abdulaziz in 1932. That's why they celebrate National Day on 23rd September, not Independence Day. And then we have Thailand, the only country in Southeast Asia never to be colonized. While their neighbors fought for independence, Thailand skillfully avoided colonization through diplomacy and reform. As a result, they don't have an Independence Day, but they do honor their monarchy and their national identity. But why does this matter? For countries that never had independence, people grow up without ever knowing what it means to fight for freedom. Their national identity is shaped by unions, monarchies, or larger powers that overshadow them. Meanwhile, nations that did fight for freedom, like Malaysia, Indonesia, India, or the United States, hold Independence Day as their proudest symbol. It's not just a holiday. It's a reminder of sacrifice, bloodshed, and unity. This contrast shows us something powerful. Independence is not guaranteed. Some people inherit it through history. Others never receive it at all. For ordinary people, independence is more than history. It is everyday life. It means raising your flag with pride, speaking your language without fear, and teaching your children that their land is their own. But imagine living in a place where that feeling never exists, where your passport still carries the name of another power, where your national holidays celebrate kings, unions, or agreements, but never true freedom. This is the reality for millions of people in places like Puerto Rico, Hong Kong, Scotland, and others. Their identity is real, their pride is strong, but their independence remains a dream. Independence always comes at a cost. Nations that celebrate it today often carry stories of war, bloodshed, and sacrifice. Freedom was never given, it was fought for. But for those who never gained independence, the story is different. Some live in comfort under larger powers, while others struggle with an identity that feels incomplete. Without independence, there is no national day to unite everyone, no moment in history to say, "We stood up and we won." That is why countries with Independence Days guard them so fiercely. They remember that freedom was not free. And that is the truth about countries without Independence Day. While some nations wave their flags in triumph, others live in the shadows of bigger powers, their stories left unfinished. Independence is not just a date on a calendar. It is sacrifice. It is unity. It is the heartbeat of a nation. So if you live in a country that celebrates independence, take a moment to remember, the freedom you enjoy today was paid for by the struggles of those before you. And for those who never had it, their silence is a reminder of how precious independence truly is. Because in the end, freedom is not free, and independence once won must be cherished forever.